Yeah, what is going on, all you point three people? Favorite trio of hosts back once again, a day before the premiere of Captain America Brave New World. We're going to be giving our final preview, some thoughts, comments, concerns, everything in between, and also covering Sam's MCU journey. So stick around with us over the course of the next hour. If you're watching this live, we appreciate you. If you're watching this recorded, just know this is what we do every Wednesday. So come on back. Here are our thoughts. We're going to be seeing the movie this weekend. We're definitely going to be getting you a full video one way or another. So without further ado, let's not waste any more time. Shadow Brando, Hero Scroll, Lou, we're getting into it. Hero, I'm going to kick it over to you first. How are you feeling about this movie less than 24 hours before we really get into it?
I'm excited. I'm excited. Right. Through us reading and doing all this big Captain America stuff, I'm definitely excited for the movie. I want to see more of Sam Wilson in the MCU and Red Hulk and whatever else that brings, even though we've joked about it a lot. I am low key interested in seeing what Giancarlo brings to Sidewinder and what they're gonna do with him and the leader and all the other Hulk related villains and stuff. I'm curious. I'm curious if this pushes the world of the MCU forward in any way, even if it's a tiny bit. I look forward to the stakes, and it seems like it's kind of a form back to action of for Cap. So I'm excited.
Shadow Brando?
In 24 hours, I will be inside the theater watching this movie. So that gets me a little hyped. I got this shirt the other day out of the collector core box. I will wash and probably wear again to the theater tomorrow. But I'm excited for the movie. I think it's cool to see Anthony Mackie get his own movie for once after always joking with Tom about how he's gonna get his own movie one day, and now he finally has it. He posted a really sweet message with an interviewee before I saw it before we went live, and just kind of like saying how cool the journey was and humbling it was to finally have his own movie instead of always being a part of someone else's. So it was pretty cool to hear about, and nonetheless, it has Captain America, which is great. So I'm excited for it. It's gonna be weird seeing or having a like no Steve Rogers in there, but it's time for Sam shine.
Hondo P.
And Harrison Ford too. I'm excited to see him in the MCU.
Bro,
Went from Indiana Jones, Star Wars, MCU, everywhere.
I don't know about you guys, but like he's in every ad I see right now. Like he's in the Jeep commercial, which is actually kind of epic.
Harrison Ford sells.
Dude, he does. And then his 1923 show on Paramount Plus, like I'm getting bombarded with that. I'm like, have I secretly been like Google searching Harrison Ford? Like, what do I need to delete? Listen, gents, in chat, and it just I'm bittersweet on this one still. I'm excited because it is a Marvel movie and it's something to like go and see and do, and it's going to be nice to hear all the booms and see the action and just like feel Marvel again outside of Rivals. But there is a sadness that I have that Anthony Mackie's first big role, a Black Captain America, the character that we've really kind of grown to know even more over the course of the last month or so with all the reading and the research and all the things that we've been doing in preparation for this. There's just a big chunk of me that just feels like there's going to be a lot left on the table. And I don't know how long he's going to get the run as Captain America and how much of the focal point he's going to get. Like, does he get a second movie? If he's in another movie, is he going to still be like a top tier character? Like, I don't know. That's to be seen. So I'm hesitant to be like, I'm super excited for this still. But I will say over time, I think I've made the movie a lot more about him in my head canon, which I think has helped me want to go see this movie a lot more than previously thought. I still have some reservations on the execution that they're going to have on this. And I ultimately am really, really concerned with the potential audience feedback that's going to come after this weekend. I'm hoping it's positive. Really hoping, like, I think a solid, like, at least, like, please hit like an 80% Rotten Tomatoes, like a 3 on Letterboxd, like, get in that like upper mid range for comparison for MC movie, and I think it'll feel really good. I would just hate to see Anthony Mackie interviewed after this, and a lot of questions are like, what went wrong? Like, why did this movie not fail? Like, you finally got your movie, and like you're part of the problem. I just would hate to read those articles and listen to those podcasts.
Yeah. Hopefully not. And I mean, it is interesting to think that this is kind of not only his first own movie, but also the first big point or continuation from Endgame that we've gotten on the big screen since Endgame, really. Like, a lot of the other MCU movies have been their own new thing. I would say the closest thing is maybe Black Widow, but not even that.
Yeah.
This is kind of like the first big connecting piece to Endgame. Yeah. And this is coming, 6 years removed from it. It's kind of crazy to think. So, yeah, very crazy. And I know
it's 2 years post Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
like timeline wise.
Mm-hmm.
It's gross.
Yeah, like, crazy to think about. And I know we were all kind of talking about, in our personal chats, and actually right before recording, or the live, better said, kind of like, does it deserve kind of this skepticism, right? And SB, I'm curious, kind of know more about what you think. Do you think that, I know we did a video on it, have we been too hard on these movies, particularly Thunderbolts and Captain America? Do you still feel that way towards this movie? Has it softened up a little bit?
I feel like I don't hate it as much as I did in the past, but I'm still like, I'm not expecting much out of the movie because of all of the rumors and stuff that we've heard, but I don't think it's gonna be that like bad of a movie. I don't think it'll be like too like absolute god awful worst of the worst MCU movies. I think they did salvage and could have reshot some of the what they could have, and it's just, I don't know. I'm mainly excited to see it because I'm going with a lot of my friends that I haven't seen the movie with, or haven't seen Marvel movies with since like 2018, where that group has like all been to a theater. So it kind of feels like, I know it's not Infinity War Endgame level hype, but it has a little bit of that bias for me, of like just kind of all going with a group and seeing the continuation of where this universe is going to go. And this is kind of, Deadpool and Wolverine brought it on the multiversal side. This is kind of as like Hero was saying earlier, the first thing we get on the street level side in such a long time. So it'll be interesting, especially Adamantium. Whatever they do with that in the Celestial.
Yeah. Here, what do you think?
Yeah. No, I kind of agree, right? And I do think, at least for myself, I know I eased up on it too. And it really started to win me over once we started getting first looks and posters and teasers and all that. The Red Hulk design, I think, looks great. The character designs look great in general. But I do think story-wise it isn't going to be as fulfilling. But I keep going back and forth with myself on the question of, is that okay?
What do you mean? What do you mean okay?
So how do I describe it? Sometimes, people come into a movie and and maybe more so the MCU, and they expect it to push the greater narrative as far as possible and continue to push these characters into way different levels, like astronomical different levels, because the MCU originally did do that, right? However, and I think we talked about this, I can't remember when, there's either sometime last week or the week before, that the MCU right now is at its strongest it's been in a while, but also at its weakest. And what I mean by that is that from a larger standpoint, there is really not much of a connective thread. Like, it's just kind of everywhere. But if you look at the individual projects that have been coming out, for the most part, they have been really well received because they are self-contained. So that's what I kind of mean. If this does that, I think I'm okay with that. To Dill's question, I don't really think the greater MCU is going to be pushed way further. I really don't. But I think that's okay, because should you do it in a movie where, for the most part, from what it seems like, Sam's going to be fighting Red Hulk, and Gamma, possibly, Gamma, radiated enemies. Should you then go jump into a multiversal aspect, it's going to feel kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a different tone for the movie. So it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. Does that suck for the greater MCU? Yeah. But it's been so long for the greater MCU to have a proper, bigger story that it's kind of like whatever. Even Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, let's be honest, as amazing as Deadpool and Wolverine is, does it push the greater MCU? No, not really. It has parts of it, but it doesn't push it into any new level. And I think that's okay. Same for Cap.
Yeah. I think to that point, though, this movie, there are a lot of aspects in this movie that are definitely pros and cons, and the pros for some are cons for the other, and vice versa, right? But we've known all along how much of a kind of a parts bin movie this really is, from the 2008 Hulk stuff. Who remembers that? The more we do this podcast, I assumed that fans know a lot of things. Like, you're like, oh, I like the MCU. And I'm like, cool, then you definitely know about the Incredible Hulk movie. And they're like, what? No, I really don't. I maybe watched it once way long ago, or fans today, they were in like 5th grade. Like, they don't even know what that movie was about. Like, there's a younger fandom who's evolved that is older now that might make up a bigger bulk of the majority, where the movie's not on their radar. And the Hulk that they got isn't associated with this movie. So you have the aspects of Marvel taking that off the shelf and putting it in this movie, and like, hey, you're going to get some Hulk stuff. And again, we've talked about it ad nauseum, but it's like, where's the Hulk? And you're like, don't know. Maybe it'll be a surprise cameo. Yeah, right. So you have that Cap has to deal with. Then, Dill, you're a seasoned veteran. Come on now. But so you have that feeds into this Cap. And then you have Cap in the history, which we're going to get into, of his MCU journey, starting off as a side character, earning his stripes, no pun intended, and becoming this figure who went from a love-hate kind of Disney Plus TV show to now being the next Cap, whereas people want to see Steve Rogers, and they're like, oh, Steve Rogers is still alive. Is he in this movie? No. So no Hulk, no Steve Rogers. Oh, but you have Cap, Sam. And then you have a new introduction of characters that people are like, huh? Like, the amount of time we had more fun speculating who I keep saying Giancarlo, shout out all my Yankees fans, but Giancarlo Esposito, and we had almost more fun speculating about who he's going to be than who he actually came out and said, I am this. And we're like, cool, you're gonna walk sideways the whole movie. Sounds good. So that is just like yeah. So for me, when I think of these things of like what Sam is going to have to carry, that's a lot. Now, what Sam has to carry on his own, take all of those things aside. you're going to have a character who is going to take a unique approach to social representation and diversity and what that means. And newsflash, if you've been living under a rock, we are not a political podcast by any means. People hate it. People love it. It's like black or white. Again, no pun intended. And that is going to be at the center of this movie. And people are going to hate it and people are going to love it, just like people hated Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl concert, and people loved Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl concert. So there's just a lot of dynamics that really have nothing to do with Anthony Mackie as Captain America that he's going to have to contend with. So to your point, am I loosening up on this movie? Kind of get to this point, I'm like, dude, you kind of were set up to fail in a lot of ways, which I think sucks. So for me, as someone going to see this movie, I look at it more from the standpoint of, I don't want it to really affect the greater MCU. I want it to affect Sam in a positive way. So when this movie ends, you're like, that's the guy that needs to be the leader of the Avengers. That's the guy, if Doom shows up, I'm like, no problem, we got Sam. Like, that's how I want to feel. And I think that's been a shift for me personally on this journey to Cap 4, getting to this point to be like, I didn't really like you as Falcon, but I really want you to succeed as Cap, because I think the greater MCU doesn't need a further storyline. They need solid characters. And this is a chance to make him a very solid character when we do get that step, whether it's a baby step or a giant leap into the multiverse. I want Sam to be like, I feel good that we're going to win this because you're here.
Yeah.
I like that, especially when you factor into the Thunderbolts Super Bowl trailer that came out and their emphasis on not having like an Avengers exist. It's like, damn, like you want Sam to succeed and you want him to form an Avengers team back. So we want the Avengers back. So,
Yeah.
But
I like that.
Yeah. And kind of to that point though, I will say that this would kind of reflect also what Sam as a character kind of does though, where he does step up. You know, he kind of did it when Cap called him back to action in the Winter Soldier. He needed backup. Guess what he did? He stepped up. You know, Civil War, he stepped up. Avengers Endgame, kind of the first one back in the line of action.
You know, left.
Exactly. When Cap called. And then when Cap told him, I'm done, it's your turn now, basically, he didn't give him a choice. That's what I think people forget. It wasn't a choice for him. It was thrown on him by Cap, and he accepted it because it was not thrown, but give it to him by Cap. And he stepped up. Sure, he had his doubts at first and originally rejected it, but after realizing what it meant, he stepped back up. So I see Sam Wilson, Anthony Mackie, Sam Wilson doing the same thing for the Avengers. I do see him stepping up to be that leader, even though he might not necessarily want to be, but if he knows he needs to be it, then he will.
Yeah. And I think real quick to that point, though, a lot of what you were mentioning, I think, is more of a show me versus a tell me. And I think the worst parts about Anthony Mackie's character are the tell me parts. And I hope in this movie they leave more of that tell me to Harrison Ford and whoever's playing Isaiah Bradley. Because, again, the political overtones are definitely going to be present in this. And if they can use the sub characters to handle that and let Cap still take, I mean, it's important that he does it because, again, what we've read, this guy doesn't shy away from these things, and he's a leader for a reason. He's a vocal leader and also a leader that takes action. But at the end of the day, I think what will sell people on this movie is, and this is not a word, and if it is, it's kind of cool if it's a word, but badassery is the word I'm going to use here. He looks good. I hope his action scenes are really good. Okay. The best thing, and we maybe have said this before, I hope that Sam gets the Winter Soldier Cap treatment. When that man flew out of that plane, and they're like, does he have a parachute? And he's like, no, badass, cool, bam, in the water. Gets on the tanker and starts wrecking dudes. They kind of sort of did that in Falcon and Winter Soldier when he was Batroc and all those grew and he was doing his helicopter things and like it was cool. But like he needs more, I think, statement moves and action sequences for people to be like, he's undisputably really good. Even though I didn't like some of the dialogue, it was really entertaining to watch him do what he did. And I want to see more of that. And then I think they can keep peppering more of like what makes Sam Wilson and Captain America and his unique approach to the mantle.
Like it. Well, I think the action, we will definitely get some cool action shots with his aerodynamic Mach 1 helmet or whatever speed helmet thing that is. And in the trailer, we got to. I criticized this so hard when the first trailer came out of when he first flew through like the helicopter. Was it the helicopter?
It's
The
a
helicopter?
jet,
No,
I
jet
think.
wing.
The jet,
He threw
yeah,
the
yeah.
jet wing. I remember I crapped on that so hard because I'm like, how are wings able to do that? Or I hated it. And then as you learn more about the wings and just kind of like how fast he's going, I don't know why, but I changed my mind and they like reworked it in the trailer just to make it like look cooler, maybe. But now I'm sold on it. It's freaking badass. So like a scene like that, or seeing more scenes like that throughout the movie, will definitely sell me on what you were saying, Lou.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. One quick thing I want to ask you guys before we transition to the next topic on him. Do we think, and Hero, you kind of touched on it, but going back to Dill's kind of point, will this affect the greater MCU? Do you think people will place more blame or heavy blame on Sam if this does not do anything for the greater MCU? Will that be kind of an unrecoverable side effect of this movie if we don't get it because we have so many MCU elements that are packed into this movie, Tiamat being obviously number one?
I think so. Just because it's the product of the MCU currently, right? You look kind of at where certain characters are in terms of like the totem pole of likability. For example, we were talking about Eternals not too long ago before we started recording, and you think, okay, greater MCU wise, they did nothing when they should have done a lot more. Where are they at now? People, you say Eternals, and people are like, "Oh, don't talk about that." Oh, no. I think it might be to a degree the same way, where people were kind of gonna hear it and be like, "Ah, yeah, they didn't do anything." But again, I think that's part of where the MCU lies in general. However, my one thing that I will say is that, and maybe a question to your question, or to everybody's question, we know that adamantium is going to be part of this movie. We know that Tiamat Island is now kind of confirmed to be an adamantium. Does that not push the greater MCU story forward enough, though? Because if you think about it, that opens the door to a lot more possibilities. That's your bridge into it. Now, the other movie that comes next that uses adamantium or Tiamat doesn't have to explain all this. Because guess what? Brave New World did it. Is that not enough?
As I say, it's like one of those like filler seasons in a show that like you need to be done just to like be done to develop the story. For example, Invincible season 2. I'm gonna say it.
Fair.
I was like, we were hyped for it, and it didn't really satisfy us, but it still pushed the Invincible story forward. It needed a season like that. You need a movie like Cap to build Sam's character up a little bit. Might not be a good quality film, but introduces some cool aspects like the Tiamat.
All right, I'm gonna throw this back on you guys because I do. This is going to feel very reminiscent of me criticizing Wolverine and Deadpool and Wolverine. Shocker, everyone! I actually did that, and then okay, I apologized. However, that kind of adds to a little bit of the adamantium storyline in the MCU for me specifically. I'm going back to you, Spider Brando. What's the point of adamantium? Like, what next would you really want to see with it to be like, or what road does it lead to for you? And that's one of my things for this is I'm like, is it kind of pointless? Is it not as exciting as it could be? Where does this subplot go, knowing that adamantium was kind of a joke in Deadpool Wolverine? Deadpool and Wolverine is now in the MCU, so we have a Wolverine. We also got adamantium in the TVA, no problem. Shout out Deadpool's katanas. It's like it's not as special to me specifically because it exists, and the character that this really leads to, that's like the big character that's synonymous with adamantium, it's going to be in the MCU. He's going to be. We're going to have a Wolverine, and we saw variants of Wolverine that are already existing, potentially based on rumors that we got from all the variants we saw when Deadpool was looking for that one special Wolverine. So, Shadow Brando, what's next then? We see it in this movie, but is it really that exciting to see where that goes?
I think it is because we don't have it in the 616, and I know they're probably gonna spin it differently than like. Obviously, they're already doing it by having it from a celestial, but I think that kind of leads it to a new like power scaling that we haven't seen before, in a way, and puts a new twist on their take on the mutant saga and stuff. Just to kind of differentiate it, but because like you said, all those characters exist, but they don't exist, and all those storylines exist, but they don't exist in the 616.
But
And I know that doesn't. Who knows how long the timetable is on there? But you got to think that the core of like, if they do the soft reboot post Secret Wars, they would still keep elements of like these movies and like the new takes on stuff instead of going back to like, oh, Wolverine's gonna be till he's 90s. So
yeah.
when you think of it like really post Secret Wars and not like the final conclusion, I know that's like really far out there to think. Because nobody knows what's gonna happen post Secret Wars, and that's the thing. That's like why. What's the point of showing all this stuff? And everybody has the right to think that because nobody has any idea what's gonna happen. It's like Hunter x Hunter. I have a lot of friends that want to get into Hunter x Hunter, but they don't want to get into it because that manga is probably never gonna finish, and they're like, I don't want to watch a show that's never gonna finish.
Shout out Dead Man Wonderland.
Oh, dude, yeah, 100%. Still watch Hunter x Hunter. Read Hunter x Hunter.
It's just great, 100% great.
Chimera Antarctica. If nothing else, please, it's so good.
Killua goated. Oh, he's better than Gon. I don't care what anybody says. Anyways, it'll push. Also, it'll be cool to see kind of how there is any references to like Daredevil or like street level stuff in Thunderbolts or Daredevil. Kind of to. I don't think there's going to be because this movie was in development for like 6 years, 5, like 3 years, 4 years at this point. But I don't know. With all the reshoots they've done, they could drop like, oh, here's like a Daredevil Easter egg or mention it and to hype up the show next month or a couple weeks. Thunderbolt stuff.
I have a couple of thoughts that I want to say, but here I think you were going to say something first.
No, I was just gonna say I kind of agree with what Shadow Brando is saying, where it's kind of like not only does this apply to the mutants, it applies elsewhere, right? Where you think of other street level villains that might be able to get it. You know, I had to look it up. Google says Hammerhead uses adamantium, but I don't know fully, but things like that where you think about, okay, these street level heroes getting adamantium, how kind of dangerous that is for those characters, right? Again, going beyond the mutants, and even with the mutants, where okay, we got Wolverine, we got Deadpool in the MCU, but technically Sabretooth is dead in the void. We need a Sabretooth. We need an Omega Red. We need a Cyber. We need all these villains that have a relation to the mutants through adamantium, or through Wolverine through adamantium. So you still need a Weapon X program. It might not be the same. It might not look the same, but you need a Weapon X program. So
I got one more thing.
Yeah.
You need it. I lost my train. I can't lie.
Oh, dude, it slipped right out of the butt and was gone. No wipe. It was ghost.
I'll take a phone tag.
Here's my thing with adamantium, and this will be the most cynical part of me on this live stream. It feels like a combination of Sony and the sins of MCU past combined. The Sony aspect comes from the mutant piece to me, because I think the MCU has been dragging fans along for a roller coaster that's not even in motion. We just sat down and the bar came down and they're like, get ready. And we're like, cool. And I'm like, when does it take off? And they're like, 10 to 15 years. And I'm like, I'll wait. And they're like, here's a little tease of mutant. Just a word.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like adamantium is like. You hear adamantium and you're like, hot dog, here we go, baby. Mutants. And it's like, psych. The one mutant who actually uses it, who's most important, he's from the multiverse. And he's going to die as Wolverine. And you're like, cool, okay. But then we get things like the Weapons Plus program sat on the shelf in 2008, dead. The Harvest, really cool for whatever it was, gone. Like, there's so many bigger storylines that the MCU is like, we're giving it to you, and then it goes absolutely nowhere. It's sitting there. And on top of that, you have vibranium. Sam just got vibranium. He has vibranium.
I remember what I was going to say. I was going to imagine what Wakanda could do with experimenting with vibranium and adamantium, is what I was going to say earlier.
I think it'd be super cool. It's literally pulled right out of Marvel Rivals. Sorry, I keep talking about Marvel Rivals. There's kind of a storyline where they're doing what affects vibranium.
Yeah,
but that's the thing, like, again, you see how you take that and you apply it to other characters, right? And you can just do it to where, okay, hey, Secret Wars is here, and let's say we're gonna throw in, who do we throw in? We're gonna throw in Moon Knight. Hey, Moon Knight needs something that's gonna be able to fight the things on Battleworld. He needs some adamantium staff and an adamantium little daggers, moonarangs, whatever they're called.
Crescents.
Crescents. There you go. I like moonarangs. I was gonna say moonarangs are better, I think.
Dude, I'm changing my name to Moonerang.
I like moonarangs a lot better. And yeah, even to Dill's point, imagine what Doom can do with vibranium and adamantium. Like, it's, I know people associate it with Wolverine, and rightfully so, but it's like you put that into the MCU and you can just do a lot. If you bring back Ultron, for the love of God, Marvel, bring him back, make him cooler.
Vision series, baby.
Body.
Do you guys trust this?
Vision series.
I agree with everything you guys are saying, and the fanboy in me is going absolutely bonkers right now. I don't trust Marvel Studios to make good on anything, because for half a decade now, our fan theories have blown the actual freaking scripts of these movies out of the water. And I've been hurt.
But you gotta remember what's been going on in the last 5 years. COVID, the writer's strike affected like 3 of those. So at least 3 of the last 5, 3.5, because the writer's strike kind of went on for a while. and they had a mess to deal with of the old CEO just greenlighting everything. And
Bro, don't get
but
me
I'm
started.
not. Hold on. Let me finish. I'm not trying to right their wrongs and give them excuses, but we have covered a lot of their talk recently about the quality over quantity and have wondered when it's going to kick in. That was about like a year and a half ago, and we're like, oh, they still have all these projects lined up, and obviously this year is packed with shit lined up. But after Secret Wars, like I just said, we don't really know what's gonna happen
Bro,
anymore
they don't know what's
because
going to happen.
they've been working on all these projects.
Oh, real
So I
Feige
have hope.
in your
I have
basement.
hope in them correcting their quality actions.
Send them
Time,
brand new.
but
And this is something we've warned too, is that when we did that video covering the Iger's comments, I remember one thing we pointed out was that this year was not going to be the year, even though they have a shit ton of content, like I just said, because this is all the content that's been butchered from the last couple years. So after this, though, once we start getting, I think Doomsday is gonna be actually.
Fantastic Four. No, Fantastic Four has
Fantastic
to
Four
fall
is
into this
gonna be, yeah,
quality piece.
Fantastic Four
That is
is,
when
I
it
think
begins.
Fantastic Four is gonna be the
So-
start.
tying this back into Cap, I do think the quality kind of starts here, where they don't do
Yeah.
reshoots and cut characters out and add new ones for no reason. They just don't.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
That
And
yeah,
I
I see what you're saying.
yeah, Shadow Brando, to your point, I do think that they maybe saw Cap and thought maybe certain elements are too out there for what we're trying to tell.
Sure.
Maybe this is not the way we want to go. Does it unfortunately mean that some characters will have to be cut completely and we'll have to change certain plot points and the script may suffer a little bit? Yes. However, is that to the more ultimately to benefit the movie? Even if it does feel a little weird in certain places, probably. Because sometimes that is what you kind of have to do, especially when you had a writer's strike, the strike, you had the Kang stuff in the middle of all of this. Who's to say that somewhere in there, Kang wasn't originally part of this movie in some way?
Yeah.
Who knows? We might never know.
MCU's changed a lot over the development of this movie.
It's changed big time, because again, we were supposed to see Sam way earlier than we were. It's just a victim of circumstance, and I think that's kind of what is happening here. But everybody is placing a lot. They're being a lot harder
Yeah.
on this movie instead of Deadpool and Wolverine because Deadpool and Wolverine had nostalgia.
Right. That overcomes everything. Everything. So again, I mean, I think when you really look at this at the end of the day, leading up to this movie, it's going to pull on your personal preferences. And it's going to be another mixed bag movie. I think by the end of this, you're going to see some people who are like, this is my favorite movie. And you're going to have people that be like, this is worse than Quantumania.
Best case scenario for this movie. What is it?
In what way? Like a score, a comparison?
I would say both in comparison, but then also for you personally. Best case scenario.
SB, you locked and loaded? You got some thoughts on this one?
I would like to see Sam have a good. I want to see Sam have a good arc that's like showing how he deserves the mantle of Cap more so than Falcon and Winter Soldier did. And that comes with defeating a villain like a Red Hulk. So I don't want to see him get carried too hard in that fight and have him have that big moment for himself. I think that would be my best outcome. And my score, you asked about the score too, right?
Or a
No.
comparison.
Oh,
That,
comparison.
Yeah, like
I was-
what could people compare it to and be like, okay, that's good or bad?
Ooh. I'm gonna say Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, I was thinking that too.
Ugh.
That's not a bad movie.
That's not-
It's not
Ant-
really rewatchable because of
Mm.
like it
No.
was more of a movie in the time, and I think that's what this movie's gonna be.
He-
You're not gonna rewatch this movie that much, but if you
here's-
want like a Falcon or Sam Wilson movie, you're gonna rewatch it. Just like if you want an Ant-Man movie, you're gonna rewatch Ant-Man and the Wasp. Not Quantumania, but
Here's a really, really, really good point to your point, which is 2 points, and we need one more for point 3. Hero, it's up to you. It's funny that we say this may not have greater MCU implications. I think long term, that actually really hurts this movie. Because you have the Thunderbolts and the prospect of what that movie is. That's going to be the next movie after this. Like, if you think about it, we could easily look back at this movie and we could give it a score right after this. But I think that when we do our rankings at the end of the year, we're all going to move it down. Because you have Daredevil that's going to come out. You're going to have Thunderbolts that potentially is going to hit. And Fantastic Four, not to mention you're going to have a Superman movie as well. Like, the perception of this movie may dwindle as the months go on. And you could walk out of this and be
Batman's
like,
not coming out this year.
dude, honestly, this could be a 7 out of 10, which is what I'm going to throw out there. I think it could be a 7 out of 10. It's going to be solid. It's definitely going to be an above average MCU movie. Probably in the same range as the Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to be. Those are the same vibes I get from this. I don't think it's a Winter Soldier Cap movie. Like, no. Fun fact to this. Another reason why I don't have faith in the MCU. They had a chance for the Super Soldier Serum and botched the heck out of that. Different conversation. But yeah, 7 out of 10. Maybe top end 8, but I don't think it's got an 8 in it. There's not enough. I don't have enough faith in like a Red Hulk or cameos or the Falcon's going to be so great. I'm like, dang, that's a surprise character. Like, Falcon sucks. But I don't know, guys. This movie could like feel like a 7 out of 10 when we leave the theater, and then by the end of the year, we're like, was it more of a 6? Just because everything else is that much better? Potentially.
I think so. I think that could be the case. Like I said earlier, I'm probably gonna leave the theater pretty positive just because I'm seeing it in a recliner, Dolby, and with the homies. So I'm gonna have a great time seeing it, and that's gonna factor into my score a little bit, unfortunately.
The experience counts. No, I mean, if it's an enjoyable theater experience, that wholeheartedly should definitely count.
But I do agree that later on throughout the year, it's probably gonna go down. But I don't know. I'm surprised you said 7. I wasn't expecting you to go that high for it. I was thinking like 6.5, which isn't much lower. But
I mean,
I don't
other
know.
movies I have in that range are kind of dog water.
I think I've been getting more strict on my 6 and 7s, and that's why. I don't know.
Oh, go ahead.
I'll say 7. I'll throw 7 out there.
7 is because of Sam, just by the way. If Sam is that good, this movie is a 7. If Red Hulk and the plot and the storyline are executed on very well, maybe that brings it to an 8. I don't think there's a world where I can say this is a 9. This is like a top 20 MCU movie. I think there's no world where that happens.
It could be top 25.
Could be top 25. I mean, could it be better than Thor: Love and Thunder? Yeah. Could it be better than Quantumania? Yeah. But I think there are a lot of reasons why they could be very similar and fall into the category of those movies.
Yeah.
There are just some glaring, egregious things and decisions that they made for those movies where you're like, there are some good elements in it, but at the end of the day, it all kind of comes together to just be like, wish it would have been better. I wish they would have done something else. I would like. I don't want to say I wish, but I'm probably going to.
Let's see. We gotta give it a chance. I will say the one comparison I hope it gets. That's not Ant-Man and the Wasp. I do think it should be the Marvels. And the reason I say the Marvels is because the people who like that
A
movie,
lot of people hate that movie.
they hate the ones that hate it never saw it.
But if you think about it, though, because I've been thinking about the Marvels, there are a lot of things about the Marvels. Again, we can go down a route of it's an all-female cast. People don't care about that. They teased the mutants, but it didn't go anywhere. Monica's in a different Earth. Who cares? Sam Jackson was in it, and they're like, he sucks now because Secret Invasion was so butt. Like, there are a lot of elements of
And
this.
no
of, like,
marketing because of the writer's strike either.
for sure. And it was a fun, solid movie. I really enjoyed it, but I think there are personal preferences that are a lot more logical than the general audience cares to accept.
I mean, that is true, but the point that I was trying to say is more like the people that like that movie like it
Yeah, okay.
because they gave it a chance. And I think if you're of the mindset of this movie that it's going to suck, it's going to suck.
Yeah.
Because you just have that, you're just closed-minded to it. And that's how I do think some people are going to come about it, where they're just going to be like, no, this movie's going to be trash.
For sure.
For whatever reason, they could.
But why go see it? There's
Because-
no world where I'm gonna be like, oh, it's trash, and I'm gonna go see the movie.
You know what this movie has going for it, and I can't believe we haven't talked about this yet. Regal Cinemas and the Rival skin, baby. Do you know how many people are gonna go buy tickets just to get that Red Hulk skin for Rivals?
There ain't no Red Hulk skin. They already said it's not.
What do you mean?
Yeah, there was an interview with like a developer, and he was like, "Yeah, no, it's not a Red Hulk skin."
Well, what the heck is it? What do you get?
I mean, also it makes sense that it's not Red Hulk because Red Hulk is
Red Hulk's like a
completely
character.
different person.
Rooster, welcome in.
So, I guarantee you, it's probably an existing skin for Hulk.
Yeah, maybe.
But it's still red, so
but
it's still red, and you get it for seeing the movie.
There's no red though. There's nothing confirmed that's red, other than
it's in the marketing on the Regal.
No, yeah, there's the spray, the emote, which is the marketing of the shield being crushed by Red Hulk and a nameplate. But there is no confirmed Red Hulk skin. That was all Photoshop, and that was never a thing.
Well, I'm happy that I'm seeing it at AMC anymore. I'm happy I'm seeing it at AMC. So
please come on,
Brando,
come on now. You would still want that spray
as bad.
You still want to go into Marvel Rivals, have the Captain America banner, have a spray, so you could be like, "Hey, I watched this at Regal Cinemas opening weekend, baby."
I mean, like, yeah, but I don't really care. I'm done with Regal.
Guys, I want to touch on this really quickly.
I'm probably gonna see it at a Regal on Friday night.
He's still gonna get the spray, and he's still gonna rock it, and then he's gonna be like,
that's how I know you're gonna see the next Sony Marvel movie opening night. No problem.
No,
bro, you always go back, bro. You're always going back.
I can't.
Madam Web 2
I mean, if Sydney Sweeney's in it, I'll see it opening night. But anyways, I had one last point to Red Hulk. Actually, no, I don't. I'm not gonna bring that point up anymore.
Well, no.
It was gonna be something. It was gonna be stupid jokes. Just disregard.
Oh.
Yeah, nobody asked for Madam Web.
Real quick. We got to rein it back in real quick. Is there a world where Sam Wilson can feel A tier after this movie? Or does he feel A tier to you already?
I think he's an A tier for me. I would say B tier. But I think
he does feel B tier to me.
I would want this movie to put him in A tier, like you said earlier.
I second that. Or third that.
Okay.
Better said.
Okay.
0.3. 0.3 certify that.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
But you see, the thing is, he's never needed the super soldier serum. Like, that's a point that a lot of people, I don't understand why they get so caught up with that. It's not really something I understand when you have other characters that don't need it, and we're not out here like, oh, they need a super soldier serum. And then you give him what he has with his utility, with the wings, the shield. Like, he kind of.
Does Batman have any superpowers?
No, but I think if you look outside of it in the MCU, like everyone in the MCU got power creep when you went to go face Thanos, minus the most powerful character getting absolutely nerfed in Hulk. But I think this game, no, does he need the super soldier suit? I mean, no, he doesn't need it, but he did get his vibranium suit upgrade, and if he gets adamantium included into it, I think it's enough that, like, when you do the Thunderbolts Cap comparison, like 1v1, what super soldier is going to actually take Cap? No one. No one. There's not one person on that Thunderbolts team that could go head up with this version of Cap that we're most likely getting, in my mind.
That's a good point.
Like, Bucky couldn't take on Red Hulk. Iron Man barely could take on Red Hulk without the Hulkbuster. Really think about this. If Sam does stand up to Red Hulk and does use his suit, which he is very good at fighting, he's very acrobatic, he's obviously going to be quick, he's going to be strong, it's going to boost everything that he does. There's a real world where adamantium wings can pierce a Red Hulk's skin, and it's GG's. I couldn't name one person on the MCU roster right now who's better equipped to fight a Red Hulk than Cap. And I still don't think that Cap should be fighting Red Hulk. But in reality, off the top of my head, chat, you guys can throw out someone who would be the best hero to face Red Hulk on the current roster of active MCU heroes. The best choice is
Strange.
Thor.
Yeah, I was gonna say Thor.
Strange. Tanks. What other tanks we got?
For tanks, that's it. If we're going DPS, then Shang-Chi.
Moon Knight? Where's Moon Knight?
Yeah, I was gonna say
He's got his,
Shang-Chi, Moon Knight.
He's got his moonerangs.
Yep.
Exactly. You gonna hit him with a moon Hansu, you know?
Rome's.
I
What?
Shit on.
Hang on. Falcon has more experience than other than Thor. I was like, bro, what?
I thought he was saying,
yeah. I was like,
Thor. I was like,
whoa.
Rose. I mean, Wanda, yeah,
ooh.
Wanda, but she's
that's kind of cheating.
Yeah, that's a little. That's just like too OP.
But then Strange is kind of
turn his butt inside out. Yeah, nah.
Yeah,
but she's also dead.
She's dead. I said active. The Beast coming in with the death.
He said that she didn't die, but
She didn't die.
according to the directors and all the other stuff that
the MCU book that came out,
yeah, she is dead.
According to
that.
I don't think she died either. Classic wrestling. Write her off script. Let her go do what she wants to do.
There you go.
No, bro.
We're not doing bullshit.
No, but seriously though. Legit. I've been hard on Cap, but I think Cap, with all of the tech that he has,
What kind of tech too?
he's top.
And I mean, if you think about it, he has the battle experience too.
Yeah.
Like he
trained
knows
under
how to
Steve.
fight.
He has been trained under Steve for years.
And I mean, you think about it, he held his own against super soldiers too.
Yeah.
Like, I
I
know
people against
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
I mean, he did get smoked by Ant-Man.
Giant Man, though, right?
Yeah.
Giant Man. Ant-Man, when he's at Avengers Campus, he's all tiny.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, look, all I know is that people will come at this differently because of what the movie is going to have to say, because of who it's representing, because of who is at the forefront of it, and because what the just overall the film has going against it.
Yeah.
But I think if you can go into it with an open mind, I do think we'll all find something that we like about it. Be
sure.
it Sam, be it how they do Red Hulk, be it the themes, be it whatever they have for it. I do think this movie has something to offer. Marvel pushed it really hard in a way that I don't think they pushed many other movies. They did push Deadpool and Wolverine, but that was in a different way. This is very much a like, hey, no, this is MCU. You know, because Deadpool and Wolverine was Deadpool and Wolverine. That's its own thing that you can't really compare it to other stuff.
Yeah.
So they're pushing this hard for the audience. So, and even if it's a B tier film, I think B tier is good sometimes. That's all you need sometimes.
B is solid. I don't think anything's wrong with B, but I also think that we've kind of right sized our tiering for the most part over the last couple of years. It's where like the beginning couple phases, you're like an 8 out of 10 movie. Oh, that's terrible. That's mid. And it's like, well, no, you guys are doing it out of 10. Let's do some math. That ain't mid. That is above average, my friend.
Yeah, and a B tier's above average still.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, if you get a B plus at school, you're gonna be happy on a project that you worked really hard on.
Maybe
You're gonna be a little
A
disappointed.
B is like an 80 out of 100, so 8 out of 10. Boom.
So, what, 85 up to 87, really? So
Quick maths.
yeah, quick maths. Rome's I do think has a good question, and maybe one we can kind of end it on before we end the live.
Yeah.
What do you quick theory? What do we think this post credit scene is going to be?
Chat, make sure you put it in too. We want to see your guys' thoughts as well. Dropping in there.
I
Give you guys a moment.
rescind from this.
No, why?
Rescind.
I saw a clip of the post credit scene on TikTok already.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to say a single thing.
Okay, you can't answer because you're gonna say something.
I'm not gonna say anything about it, and that's why I don't even want to.
All right, fine. You don't.
Say,
You get.
I don't want to make a. I don't want to make a fake.
You
Theory,
get.
you know.
You get one free pass, Brandon.
Yeah.
I've ever rescinded anything. Actually, that's a lie. I've probably done it before.
You get one free pass. But Lou, all right, hit us with it.
I'm sticking with it. Again, self-contained. At the end of this, we're gonna get Sam, who is going to take Falcon, and he's gonna say, "Listen, there's some bigger stuff coming down the pipe. We got to get ready. Hit my theme music," and he's yeeting down the ramp. That's it.
Ooh, I was about to say, what is this theme music?
Yeah, no, there's Jey Uso.
I like it. It's just memes.
Yeah.
They won.
They won.
I like it.
I mean, is it not though? This is kind of a parallel story in a lot.
Yeah, it really is. It really is, dude. Shadow Brandon, you need to watch wrestling.
Yeah, come on.
I will think that it's maybe a recruitment. That's going to be kind of my what I actually see happening. I do think it'll be kind of like a recruitment to other Avengers. The big brain, not gonna happen.
Big brain is like big brain, or big brain is in like
big brain as in like no, big brain as in like it's just not gonna happen. Like it's out of this world, not gonna happen.
I like those.
Shang-Chi shows up. He's like, I need your help. Someone's coming after the bands. And a portal opens up behind him. Boom. Movie ends right there.
Can Shadow Brando not participate still?
I have no comment.
No, he can't because he knows.
In Out There Want. Oh, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I would love if there was like a Maestro Hulk that was just sitting on a throne, like, oh, bro, I'm coming to just mess up everyone. I want it to be Hulk related. Although I want it to be Sam related, I really do actually want it to be Hulk related.
Oh, Hulk would be good. Hulk would be really good.
Or my
Case
guy's
OP.
just in the bathroom getting a haircut. He's just like, bzz, he just buzz it all off in his big old green forehead. His son,
Mm.
he's like, he's teaching him how to shave. Just
Mm,
kidding.
I would
Never.
like that.
Never.
Brewster is saying setting up Eternals 2 or Guardians 4 or Shang-Chi and Wong. I could see some of those. Or being like a tease for Thanos in Avengers 1.
Dude, it's gonna be Giancarlo Esposito who just like survives under the rubble, like Romulo style.
Yeah, it's gonna be that, and then you're just gonna hear "Burn It Down," and then Seth Rollins is gonna come out dancing, and he's gonna be, oh, just a crowd.
Sidewinder will return. It fades to black. Sidewinder will return.
Along with the Serpent Society.
Dude, I would be.
And then on Monday Night Raw, he's gonna come out.
He opens the
"You guys
show.
saw my movie. I'm in the multiverse now.
100%.
Welcome to Monday Night
Dude,
Raw."
I'm sorry. I'd be pissed if the end card. I don't know what it is. I legitimately don't know.
I don't know.
I didn't care before this, but now I kind of care a little bit more after this podcast. But I would be pissed if it has anything to do with freaking Sidewinder and sets up his stupid show.
That'd be wild, dude. I could see. You know what? Out of all the ones that we've talked about, that is now the most likely theory.
No,
It is
I'll throw up.
probably-
I have to find a seat where no one's sitting in front of me because I will throw up all over that place.
Projectile vomit.
All over.
Projectile vomit. Bruce is saying, what if it's Captain America detention, but updated as Sam Wilson?
I will also be upset.
I'd be upset.
No
but
jokes.
it'd be-
I want a
it'd be-
serious post credit, man.
It'd be okay. But this kind of feels like it's a movie where it's like, no, we're taking ourselves seriously.
It's gonna be something dumb. I know it's gonna be something.
Dude, it's 100%
be
going to be
dumb.
Giancarlo. He's gonna be at his like compound.
The
and
raft.
He's gonna have his own compound. He's not going to jail. He's not going to jail. They don't catch him in this movie because he has to have.
They just slithered away. That makes sense.
Yeah, he's gonna like be in his compound, and he's just gonna have a pet snake, and the snake is just gonna be in his hand.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be like, "Call me Sidewinder."
Yeah.
Bah, bah, bah.
Who's the member of the Serpent Society that has adamantium? Is it Copperhead? One of them does. He has like a tail that's Adam.
Hold on.
Gosh dang it, Spider Brain! You got me saying it like that now, and I can't like undo it in my brain. Adamantanium versus adamantium. You're screwing me up.
The adamantium.
Wait, is that
was
what I
wild.
said? Adamantanium?
That
Yeah,
is
you
what
got
you
moonerings.
Oh, whoa, that's a brain fart.
Adamantium is more of like a
Adamantium.
lifestyle, though. You know,
Adamantium.
it's just a way of life.
Let's see. Serpent Society.
There is no bulge in the post-credit scene. I will confirm that.
Hey,
It's
good.
reserved for the 78 Captain America.
Google is not helping me. I'm just getting a bunch of comic Serpent Society pictures.
No, bro. I'm telling you,
So I'm kind of glad
Well,
that
the Eminem poster has been there since like
not
whenever
Copperhead.
whenever that album came out.
I don't think it's Copperhead because he just has a cape.
Yeah. Hold on. I know it's. I'm gonna get it. I gotta look at the crew.
Okay, 10 points to whoever in the chat can confirm who in the Serpent Society has adamantium.
Not
Before we do.
Viper.
Only 10 points if you do it before. Is it Rock Python?
I don't know.
No.
No?
I got no clue.
Dude, I have no idea. I didn't even know they touched adamantium.
Yes, they do. Come on. All right, my last search. I realized.
See if Google. I can see if Google knows.
Dude, that's what we've been doing.
Well, I'm saying on my Hey Google.
Oh, I was about to say, wait.
Hey Google. Who uses adamantium?
Yeah, there he goes again.
Well, when you pointed it out earlier, it screwed me.
Anaconda.
Anaconda?
No,
I was about to say,
Hey,
is that a
Google.
member?
it is.
Who
Are you
uses
Blam.
serious?
adamantium?
Oh, it is.
I can't say the word now. I can't say the word.
Big Mom.
Dude, Google search is wild with this now. It's not
It-
even close. Why do I have to search so hard?
Adamantium Serpent Society. Please, I just want to know which one of them uses it.
One of them does. I guarantee it.
Okay, chat. This is what's gonna happen. Nicki Minaj. What? This is what's gonna happen. We're gonna.
I got you. I got
We're
you.
going to look this up, and when we do our Captain America review, our post-credit review scene will be us telling you who uses it. Is it Bushmaster? Let's see. Negative 10 points if it's not.
Bro, I swear. Don't give me this doc.
Wait, no, isn't Bushmaster the dude from Luke Cage?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, no, he is a Serpent Society member. My bad. Created by Mark.
Come on, Comic Vine. Don't let me down.
The Rock Son.
Don't let me down. Don't. Oh my gosh, you let me down.
Okay, so
Dude, I swear. I don't want to waste any more time on it, but I promise you, I'm under a lot of pressure right now, and I'm seeing way too much.
Yeah, I was gonna say, listen, that's gonna be our post-credit scene. What do you get with 10 points? We'll figure it out. That'll be our post-credit for the Marvel Brave New World review. That'll be our post-credits, our promise to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how buried it is.
Yeah.
You guys got to search for it.
Wait,
The
it
internet
says
will-
Anaconda. Did you guys say Anaconda earlier?
My anaconda down. My
I
anaconda down.
It says the bones of her arms and legs have been replaced with an adamantium alloy and redesigned to mimic a snake skeletal structure.
Oh, there you
Legit,
go.
but I'm talking about the tail guy. Constrictor? Is it Constrictor?
Let's see.
One last check. That's the last thing in my brain.
One last
That's
one.
that's the last thing in my head.
Constrictor. Let's see.
It's the tail.
Appearances. Frank Payne. Does this guy have a tail?
I don't know.
Powers and abilities.
Come on. I'm gonna see it this weekend,
Coils.
Brewster. Spider-Man, I've seen it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm seeing it tomorrow night, 9 p.m. So I will be in the movie
Okay.
at this time.
I was gonna say I'll probably go Friday or Saturday. Okay, according to Wikipedia, the Constrictor primary weapon is a pair of cybernetically controlled electrified prehensile wrist-mounted metal coils provided by Justin Hammer. It then goes on to explain what the coils do. This next piece right here. You ready? The previous set of coils were made from an adamantium alloy, then from vibranium. The adamantium coils were traded to Gambit in exchange for a favor and are then subsequently used by Mr. Sinister to reinforce an ailing saber-toothed skeleton. The strength of the coils varies based on their constriction, but the adamantium coils were powerful enough to lift and restrain the Hulk.
Sold. I knew I wasn't crazy.
So
Crazy
Constrictor.
house, crazy ones.
All right,
Maybe-
man, bro.
Maybe
This
they
whole
all
podcast-
do.
Yeah, maybe they all get it. Can't wait for the Disney Plus show to find out.
Yeah, he does have these coils. You're right. I forgot.
That was a good
Wow.
call.
Yeah,
Bruce
good call,
Willis.
guys. Good call,
Yeah,
guys.
that was good. That was
Okay,
good.
well, look,
So-
now
Now you know. The more you know.
in Captain America, Braver, Not So New World, when the Serpent Society comes out as the main villain, Giancarlo Esposito finally dons his comic accurate snake costume. He might have some adamantium with him.
Oh yeah, you know he took a little piece of it. Vulture who? Vulture who?
Boom. Get ready.
Forget this Chitauri storyline that they've already done before in the MCU. We love to take materials on the black market. Sorry, not the bash on anyone.
Rose, what time are you going tomorrow?
Are you guys going together?
Yeah.
You said it like you're going to be in the same theater. So I'm like, all right, I'll hit you up
Yeah,
when I
even
get
though
there.
we're like halfway.
Well, I'll
across
hit
the
you up when I
country.
get there.
Hey, Rose,
What time
are you gonna be there, buddy?
Because I don't know if I can talk to him about it after the movie or when I can talk to him about it. 'Cause you guys ain't seeing it tomorrow.
Oh,
I can't do a
man.
live stream by myself. I can, but I'm not going to about
You
a
can.
review.
Yeah, no, you gotta wait till the review. That's why you at home, you know what you have to do? You have to be subscribed to us because that review is going to come out probably next week after we've seen it and given it a little time to marinate for other people so they can watch the review and have fun along with us. But everybody, this has been the road to Captain America: Brave New World. It officially comes out tomorrow, so go to the movies, support the movie, enjoy it. Don't. But one thing is for sure, we will be here to talk about it, and you guys should be here too. So make sure you're subscribed to us. Make sure you are in our Discord as well, because our weekend is definitely going to have a lot of Captain America chats.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of those in our future. So make sure
First.
you're there.
Absolutely.
'Cause they eat first. So, but everybody, thank you so much again for joining us on another Wednesday live stream. We have been your favorite trio of hosts, Lou, Shadow Brando, and myself, Hero Scroll. Again, thank you all so much. It really does mean the world to us that you are here with us, taking time to just talk about all this stuff. So, again, just thank you. But everybody, have a good night, and always remember to do the three excuse me, the three most important things that we always need to keep doing. You need to keep watching, you need to keep reading, and you need to keep nerding out, everybody. We will see you next Wednesday on the live stream. Have a good night.